27-year-old Tom Bennet says he's kind of an extremist. He's toured the country playing in all sorts of different bands, and now plays in the popular Salt Lake City electro band, Sex on the Run. But as fans watch Tom on Salt Lake stages, there are two details they might not guess about him. First, Tom served a mission in Utah, and that he later sold drugs on Salt Lake streets.
If you go to work during the day, you see a side of Salt Lake that's very real. But then when you go out just after dark, you know, it's like a totally different place. I did a full mission and it was a great time, you know, like I did what I was supposed to do and it was a great experience. But when I was done with it, it was such an immersion and I was so new in the faith of Mormonism that it was kind of like back to the real world, and then I got kind of got back to normal everyday living and just being like, wow, I've kind of gone over the top with this. I work in a restaurant during the day and like DJ at night, and so I don't make a ton of money, you know. So I just figured, you know, might as well sell drugs. People always ask me for them, and I usually have them, so sell them, you know.
Tom is now on probation. Months after he began selling, police caught Tom with cocaine and $800.
Right when I got to about where that guy's standing, where that garbage can is, I noticed the police officer. He's like, do you have any drugs on you? And I was like, yeah, I do.
So we thought this was the end of the interview. But believe it or not, this is where it gets interesting.
I had a partner that worked with me when I first started, but sometimes over here.
Tom takes us into the underbelly of Salt Lake City's drug world. He shows us the highly organized process of getting drugs from outside the country into the hands of Utah drug dealers.
Usually went down right over here.
And it all takes place hidden in the heart of downtown, just yards away from Main Street.
Usually I would never see the people. The base of it was Mexican cartels, where we would, you know, you'd bring your envelope full of cash, and you would just, you know, a place like this, you know, you'd just drop it right behind there, and you would get a text message. A couple hours later, you'd go back and pick up your drugs. You know, they'd be wrapped in blue cellophane.
We were surprised to see that the system operated on such a high level of trust. Tom said he would leave up to $1,000 in this encaved alley, and every time, members of the Mexican Cartel would replace his money with drugs they had smuggled into the country.
Once I really got going, I was having to pick up new shipments like every 2 or 3 days. You know, and that was like $1,000 at a time, you know. I still had a sense of morality about it. I wasn't going to like waste people under the ground, you know, over, you know, something like that.
You're a returned missionary, of course.
Yeah, why would I do that? Yeah, lose the Holy Ghost.
How much do you think you made selling drugs in Salt Lake? Just
at the peak, a couple thousand a night.
What makes you glad for not doing it now?
It kills you. It's rough, you know. They brought me out, made me get on a scale, and I weighed like 97 pounds. I went to the hospital, and they're like, you're going to die. That's why I really consider myself lucky that I did get arrested, though, because, you know, now my sobriety is forced. You know, if I make mistakes now, I will go to jail, and it's a good thing, you know.
As we left the alley, Tom shared more stories of his travels and his music, a passion he says he will still continue to pursue. He doesn't recommend selling drugs, but says that all of life's experiences are valuable.
I'm 27 years old now, so it seems to be an age where a lot of musicians die. So I kind of like feel lucky that I'm in rehab at 27 and not dead.